Hi and welcome along today everyone, and today's video concerns airlocks in central heating systems. Yes, again, I know I recently did one, but it seems it's put you off a bit because you find that getting the air out, even though I did explain how you would do it, some of you are a bit frightened about undoing things live to get air out, which I can see it can be a bit of a problem. So obviously this is more to do with views that have got F and E systems, i.e. a hot water cylinder and the little F and E tank in the loft. So is there a way around this problem? You're getting a bit scared about emptying your system now because of the filling up and the airlock situation. Well, fortunately there are devices around that can clear that air for you and save you a lot of grief and take the worry out of draining your central heating system. So let me show you what we have, and the most popular one is this thing here. This is an automatic air valve, and it just goes on a piece of copper pipe and tees into your system, and it automatically gets rid of any air for you, so that you'll never get air in the usual places where they lock up, which is what I'll show you in a second. And I've even seen things like this. Yeah, I know it seems mad, but a drain valve stuck on a bit of copper tube sticking up, and you just open the drain valve, let the air out and screw it back down again. But that's more manual obviously, but if you want to take control of it, that will do it obviously as well. Another idea, I've even seen these, which is an automatic radiator air valve, and they've been screwed into one of these, which is a female iron coupling. It goes in there like that, and as you can see, there it is, that type of arrangement. This is a German one. Unfortunately you can't get these ones anymore, you have to stay with the Aladdin ones, I'm afraid. That company went, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, that's diversion a bit. So where would you actually put these to help in future, so when you drain the system down to do your inhibitor and refresh and clean out, where would you put these to avoid the problem of the air in the system? Right, let me show you on one of my dodgy drawings right now. Here we have it then, dodgy drawing number whatever it is. I've done so many lately. Okay, boiler, hot water cylinder. Prime spot for air once it's all emptied out is this part here. Now the vent should be here really, but sometimes they're not because of one reason or another. They tend to put them sometimes over here. Now what this means, it can quite easily airlock in this little bit here, even though it should pull the air out automatically up the vent, but that is not always unfortunately the case. So a good idea for a vent is to cut one in here and have an automatic air vent like so, one of those, and put it on there, see what I mean? Okay, and that would clear the air on this potential hazard right here, which is always one that will come across. Now the vent probably is there, but then it does mean you might still get air this side of the motorised valve. This is the motorised valve, and obviously this is the main flow coming up from the boiler pump, and away we go around the system. Now some radiators, as you go off to the rads, like here, this particular one, they've taken a pipe up into the bedroom, and obviously you should be able to get the air out of the rad here on this line, but right here it might not go. This could be an airlock here, so you could put a little stalk in there and just have a, if you didn't want a bottle like this because they look a bit hideous, you could just have an auto air valve on that, on a female, or one of these just sticking up that you could open manually to get it out. Anyway, there's a drop basically is a potential for airlocks. If your pump is on the horizontal up here, also beware, always open the bleed screw on there, because on the horizontal that they will definitely gather air. Okay, but if they're on the vertical like that, you're fine. It shouldn't get any in there. But also, you know, when you get to these points here where that drops down to this radiator, you could potentially also get a bit of air there. So kind of what you're going to look for is any drops in your heating system, or where the pipes can capture air because they're on a locked bend, if you like. I mean, sometimes the flow comes along here like this and doesn't go in the tank there, it will drop and go in down here. So if you imagine that's gone, and then the flow comes down and like this, because maybe you've had a new cylinder at some time or something and didn't quite fit, so the guys lowered it and put it in where the connection is. But that means then you've got airlock problem here. So once again, air bottle, and it would help cure the problem. But they're the potential things to look for, and if you could find those items, you'll find that once you do drain again to do your flushing and sorting out of your central heating system, that when you fill, hopefully you should find that these devices will suffice and help get the air out, so you don't have to worry about it locking up and having hours and hours trying to get the heating system going again, simply because you've got air in there. So there we are. It's just a thought, just something I was asked about the other day. I thought I'd let you know my information and take on air in heating systems. Okay, well that's about it. Usual place for all my stuff, you know where to go. Derek and 33. Thanks a lot guys, bye bye.